YouTube, back from the gym, and was kind of looking at the chart and was like, you know what, maybe I'll make a little video on kind of like shorter time frame, I guess. So like we're on the 5 minute chart, and so let's quickly make some zones here. So we'll just simply just make some horizontal lines, like, hey, we have resistance here. We have support here. Let's just move this up here so we can confirm a real breakout, or we'll just have two lines here basically at these levels, right? So I think that makes sense, and you can kind of see that we are hitting support right here. Now let's see here. Now kind of going into tomorrow, like, here's the deal, is you need to see some kind of advancement, as I guess I would call it. And an advancement is basically just like a push to the upside. I mean, it's literally all it is you just want to see more volume and a push to the upside, right, and break these levels, right? Like maybe come back on down and retest and then shoot back to the upside. Right now, that's the bullish kind of idea, right? Is that what we would actually expect to see? You would expect to see a breaking point here, right? And then you'd see a breakout, and this is kind of, so like you come back, you build support, you spring, right, and see a bunch of buying pressure. Then you create a top, like you create a local top, right? So this is our local top, and this is a point of resistance. You come back down, you retest support, and then basically you come up and you break the top, right? And then you shoot to the upside, and that's essentially what we're tracking, right? And that's kind of like our bullish idea. Now, another kind of idea that you would be looking at is this trend here. This trend here, and then you have a bottom here, and then you would make a trend here. Let's see, let's move that there. Okay, that makes sense. And then you have like a channel. You have a channel like this. And as you can see, we had a touch point here, broke below, then went to the downside. So you kind of have this kind of wedge. You kind of have like this little pennant action, and you have 1-2 touches on the bottom, and then you have 1-2 touches on the top. And so theoretically, like, this could legitimately happen, is you would see something like where's it? Oh, path. Yeah, my bad. You would see something like this. Like, you would see, like, if you don't get your advancement, like, and you don't, like, if you come down, so like if we literally tomorrow, if we don't advance, right, and break this level here, like break that $6 level and the 570 level, like if you don't advance these two levels, and you either don't use this as support, like this 530 level, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, you would come back down here and then like possibly bounce at $5, but then you could legitimately make a new low, right, and then like bounce to the upside, like that, like 100% possible, 1000% possible that you could revisit these lower areas. Like, you could come all the way back down to 450 and retest this trend, and like that's 1000% possible, 1000% possible, because I mean, you go to the daily and it's like we've had so many green candles in a row. Like, you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 2 green candles. So like 9 out of 11 have been green candles. Like, that's kind of crazy. And you've, like, I don't know, have we seen that before? Like, did we see that before the initial run up? Like, no, you were dumping bad. Like, you had, you know, you had multiple days in which, I mean, like you could just come back down and retest these levels, and it's really as simple as that. Like, before you have liftoff, and like I just want to kind of like, you kind of get biased, and it happens, and you're like, no, we're only gonna go up. We're only gonna go up. Well, it's like, what happened here? I mean, we hit $6 and then went all the way back down to $4.35. And now we're back at $5. It's like, it just happens. Like, like it just does. Like, it literally could just happen. But we kind of identified this local support at $5. So like, literally, what could happen is you have this $5 zone here, and so you just break down. You break down in a spring. So this would be like a spring. You break down below the $5 and then you moon. And it's like, if we like come up and then we resist at $5, then like you could go back down to the 450 level and then come back up, and then that would be your breakout point. And that would kind of set us back like a couple of days. I think what would happen is, like, if you did hit that 450 or 480, so like if you hit the 450 or 480 zone, like those would be zones like that I would be very interested in buying. So like those would be zones I'd be very interested in. But I mean, I think that if you hit one of those zones, like you would moon. Like you would moon, because you would go back up to retest the top of the structure, and it would just break, because like you just have too much support down here. Like, people are done. Like people realize now that like 450 is a fire sale. You know what I mean? Like $5 is even a fire sale, and like people realize that. Like we have caught on. Like, we've caught on at this point that like this shit is on discount. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go to the bakery and this shit's on fucking discount, dog. Like, we've all caught on. But I'm just trying to get this out here, that like, kind of thinking like, no, every single day has been green. Think about that. Like, that has kind of got you in a different mindset, that you wake up in the morning, you check the chart, and every freaking day has been green on AMC. Like, that's kind of, it kind of gets in your head a little bit. It kind of does, and you're thinking like, no, like, we're only gonna go up. We're only gonna go up. Well, you gotta look at it from multiple perspectives, and it's like, we could easily go down to 480. Like, we could easily go down to 450, because like that $5 level has been such a point of, like, it's given us so much trouble. Like, in the past, like, we've gotten knocked down like so many times from this level that's like not even funny. So it's like, you could easily go back and test, you could go back and test these levels, the $5 level. You could easily go back to $5, and it's like, if we go back to $5, you might as well create a spring at 480 and then shoot up. But like, really, if you wanted to complete this kind of like pennant, so I mean, let's just quickly look this up. Pennant, what the hell? Pennancy. Pennancy pattern. No, pennant pattern. It's called a pennant pattern. It's more of a wedge. It's more of a wedge, maybe. Bullish wedge pattern. Yeah, it's more of a wedge. But I mean, you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. What would be a good example? I guess this example is fine. Where was it? Yeah, this one's fine. Even this one's fine here. We can just copy this image and then put it on our chart. Just paste that here. But you can see that this is a wedge, but it's not a falling wedge. I would say it's more of just like, I would just say it's a wedge. It's more of like just a symmetrical wedge, because you can see that we're kind of trading sideways. It's not really ascending. It's not really descending. but you can kind of see that these lines are converging, right? So they are converging. So like some point in the future, like if you extended these out, like they would hit each other. So that's why it is. I would say it's wedge, because price is kind of like coiling up is pretty much the essence of it. See, like sometime in the future they will actually converge. So it is 1,000% possible that you would get 3 touches, and it would be a symmetrical, right? It would be a symmetrical wedge. You would get 1, 2, 3 touches, and you'd get 1, 2, 3 touches, and then a breakout, right? So it would be a symmetrical wedge. So you have equality, but like bounce and forth equality here. But yeah, and like I know that's maybe like scares people, cause like damn, like going down to 480, going down to 450, man, like this again, like really, like we have to wait even longer. Yeah, I mean it's a freaking possibility, and it sucks and it stings, but you got to be ready, man, and you got to be thinking about, you have to have a bullish and bearish case on everything, like. You have to, because if you get too biased, then you're gonna get caught off guard, and you gotta be on your toes. Like trading is not easy. Like, and these are meme stocks, guys. Like, if you trade any other commodity, like day trading stuff like this is freaking hard, and like and it's easy for your psychology to kind of like wrap around like one bias, and like you kind of just, it's literally confirmation bias. Like that's literally what it is. It's the definition of confirmation bias. Like you just, like that's why so many like GME and AMC videos like get so many views, because like you want this thing to moon, like, and I get it. Like you want life-changing money, and that's why like you kind of start watching videos that kind of like line up with your bias, and it's really as simple as that. But it's like you got to be on your toes, and like yeah, this thing could explode tomorrow. Like seriously, yeah. I mean, we don't have to revisit those levels. I'm just saying that we possibly could, and I'm probably gonna be live streaming tomorrow. So we can like chart these things as well. I haven't done GME yet. I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, the thing about GME is, yeah, I don't know. This thing is giving me a headache, because obviously intuitively you can see the triangle pattern. Like you can just intuitively see it, but it is kind of giving you a headache. Like, where exactly, like is this happening? Like it's happening here. Like I don't know. But you can see this is a triangle. It's a triangle shape. Yeah, I mean it's literally just coiling up, and GME price is literally just coiling up. I would say that like GME's a little bit different. I would say that you wouldn't really see that much, like if you're gonna go in a direction now, like you're just gonna fucking go in a direction. Like you can't, like you may create a spring, but like not really. Like you'll barely go down. Like going back to 20s, like you're dead. You're probably dead in the water. Like you can't. I don't know if it can even do one of those at this point. Like I think it's just gonna explode. I think it's just a freaking time bomb, and you're just gonna see an explosion. Like I guess we can kind of do what we did for AMC, right? So, you kind of just identify like horizontal levels. So this would be a level. Like this would obviously be a level. Let's say that's a level as well. And then obviously you have your peaks here. So you just kind of define multiple horizontal levels, and then you can say, okay, well, you could say, then I guess you can create levels here as well. It's shorter time frame levels, but let's not do that. GME kind of gives me a headache. You kind of have this trend here. Guess it's kind of like a broadening wedge, honestly. Maybe like that makes sense. So you could, you know, come up here, break through, break this level, come up, you know, and then shoot a higher level, shoot to this level. I don't know. I'd have to look more into GME and live stream it tomorrow. Obviously, I think GME. I mean, I think AMC is a little bit more clear about like what's happening, because you have like these trend lines that you can kind of see. GME's a little bit more hard because like it's literally been doing nothing. Like it's literally just been chopping around in the smallest range ever. But I kind of just wanted to get you guys thinking about like, you know, different ideas, right? It is possible literally tomorrow or even pre-market we could just gap up and just freaking shoot out. But like, I just kind of wanted to get you guys like on your toes a little bit and be like, hey, maybe shit, we could dump to 480, we could dump to 450, you know, we could dump to these lower levels 100% if we don't get that advancement, right? If we don't get that advancement soon, it is definitely possible that you could revisit lower levels. And I just kind of wanted to get that out there, that and it would actually make sense, because you would just make this wedge, like you would make a wedge and then you'd have this breakout and it would be symmetrical. So yeah, I think I'm gonna live stream tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna start the stream a little bit before open. If you guys wanna, you know, hop in the chat, ask any questions, give me feedback, tell me what you think. And if you think I'm an idiot, if you think don't know what the fuck I'm doing, then tell me so I can learn, because I'm here to learn. I'm here to help you guys, and I'm always learning. I'm always trying to get better. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.